Welcome to In Pursuit of Truth. This is your host, Sir Patrick Mack. We are back once again, and you are watching newly obtained footage of me trying to enjoy my Sunday. Yeah. Post 3167 is where we last left you. 13 minutes out to the hour of 4. This Anon post this link from Newsweek. The title says, Fox News reporter quotes tweet from QAnon-related account on air. The Anon says, cool, they're covering our movement. We are the news for sure now. And the link takes you here. Fox News reporter quotes QAnon-related Twitter account on air. As part of a Fox News piece on President Donald Trump's free speech on college campuses executive order, Fox and Friends First reporter Carly Shimkus quoted a tweet from a popular QAnon Twitter account that shares information about the far-right conspiracy theory. They always have to make sure that it's not just right, it's far-right, and that it's always conspiracy theory. The president on Thursday signed an order that the White House says will help protect freedom of speech for all students on college campuses. The order was signed before a crowd of mostly conservative students. During her segment, Shimkus said she was reading from another Twitter user, and the image on the screen showed a screenshot of one posted by QAnon 76. And here's the screenshot right here. This is from our friend QAnon 76, who's been getting a lot of great, well-deserved attention lately. Very cool. Do not for 1 second underestimate the significance of this EO, reads the tweet. Thank you, POTUS, for reestablishing and preserving free speech rights for all students. Okay, well, they're trying to sensationalize this whole thing that, they're referencing this quote-unquote far-right conspiracy. But the fact of the matter is that our friend QAnon 76 is right. It's a very significant EO. This is in regards to free speech on campus, which is something that has slowly been dying out, right? It seems to be that our institutions where we're supposed to be learning about policy seems to be now a place where everyone's trying to implement policy. And so I think QAnon 76 is right. I think it's great that Fox quoted them. And of course, it's just showing one more step closer to the Q being answered in front of the public. So very good on you, QAnon 76. But of course, this article goes on to talk about how it's a conspiracy theory and blah, 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 blah. We've seen a million articles just like this. Look, the point is that QAnon 76 got some love, and let's celebrate that. Q says, the simple fact that this made the news, multiple articles should tell you all you need to know. Number 2, regarding attacked. And for those of you who are newer to QAnon, Q has always maintained that the POTUS is the number 1 attacked person in the country, followed by QAnon. Number 2, post-tracking sites now censoring, adjusting visitor counts. Panic, panic, panic. Yeah, well, it's happening right here on this site, qmap.pub. Generally, there's a counter up here which says how many users are there, and it's been pretty high, especially in the last week. But over the last 48 hours, I have seen that counter go away, and it's pretty indicative of what's been going around. It happens on YouTube, happens on Twitter, happens on Facebook. This shouldn't be a surprise anymore. None of us should be surprised about that. That should be just something that we should expect, but it's definitely got them in a panic, panic, panic. And speaking of all that panic, 3168, 25 minutes after the hour of 4, check out these dudes right here. Of course, we got Acosta. This dude's always upset. And then Chris Matthews. This dude goes up and down, but when he goes up, man, he goes up. And then there's this one right here. Got upset lately, too. Takes us to a Fox News link right here. FBI clash with DOJ over potential bias of source for surveillance warrant. McCabe page text. And it's got a cool guy video to go with it. Let's check it out.
Messages between then Deputy Director Andrew McCabe and FBI lawyer Lisa Page that reveal Fox News obtained these text messages between then Deputy Director Andrew McCabe and FBI lawyer Lisa Page that reveal mockery of candidate Trump, fears about the surveillance warrant, and a nasty dig at former GOP Congressman Trey Gowdy. 9 days before the FBI and DOJ secured a surveillance warrant for Trump campaign aide, Page, who worked directly for McCabe, said there was a problem at the Justice Department and concern over a source. Quote, Office of Intelligence now has a robust explanation re any possible bias of the confidential human source, or CHS, in the package. Don't know what the holdup is now. This might take a high-level push. We'll keep you posted. Fox News is told the texts were connected to the ultimately successful surveillance warrant application for Carter Page, which relied heavily on the information from former British spy Christopher Steele you see there. His anti-Trump views are now well documented. McCabe and Page also shared derogatory blogs about then-candidate Trump, and they used the D word to describe then-Congressman Trey Gowdy, who, along with Chairman Chaffetz, led aggressive oversight hearings into the FBI and DOJ handling of the Clinton emails and Russia investigation. In television interviews or congressional testimony, Page and McCabe stressed political views did not infect their investigations and that the cases were opened for legitimate reasons.
As a counterintelligence investigator, you have to ask yourself, why would a president of the United States do that? So all those same sorts of facts cause us to wonder, is there an inappropriate relationship, a connection between this president and our most fearsome enemy, the government of Russia?
On the special counsel report, we can confirm through our own independent reporting that investigators are taking steps that are consistent with tying up loose ends, such as closeout interviews. The roadmap is pretty clear. The confidential report goes to the Attorney General. Those close to the White House and the legal team expect several hours' notice. Many of the key players were at the Justice Department Thursday. The Attorney General William Barr, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, former Acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker, for a presentation on behalf of the former Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The report was not delivered yesterday, and those close to the process suggested it was unlikely given the timing of this very public event. The next steps are guided by the federal regulations, Harris, as you know, and there was a letter from the Deputy Attorney General to Senator Grassley, which really lays out that it's highly unlikely that derogatory information would be made public about individuals who are not prosecuted in these cases.
All right, well, I don't know what else to say. This is definitely not breaking news. We've been talking about this in exhaustive fashion for about a year, right? And we all know about this bias. And now that the wheels are finally coming off this bus and Robert Mueller has handed in his final report, who knows when we're actually going to see it all ourselves, we know that everybody's in a panic. And everybody who reported it, everybody who was involved in it is going to try and distance themselves. And it's not really going to help themselves very much because we've got their text messages. That's part of Lisa Page's testimony, right? That's part of Peter Strzok's testimony. We've already got it. And of course, these dudes can bark all they want, but the fact of the matter is that they're bum, sore, level, bravo, right? Q says their only defense is to play dumb, shocked and surprised to avoid collusion claims. Nobody walks away from this. Yeah, look, we always knew there was collusion. We just knew that it was on their side, and we've had the evidence to back up that. So while the deep state and the unhinged left has been barking as loud as they can for the last 2 years, and it's all falling apart at the seams, now we can get to the real collusion with some actual facts, because we have all these text messages, and we've got a FISA D-class incoming. Nobody walks away from this. Nobody. Let's move on to 3169, 29 minutes after the hour of 4. Q says you are witnessing the collapse of the largest pre-planned and coordinated propaganda event in modern day history. Projection 101. And of course, we know projection is whatever these knuckleheads are guilty of, they will likely be accusing us of, right? Projection 101. It is indeed a big event. Watergate has nothing on this, and it's going to remain to be seen how history will remember this. But it clearly is incredible times that we are living in. Post 3170. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Democracy matters. The will of the people, united, not divided. Where we go one, we go all. And we take you to this Twitter status right here from The Independent. 1 million protesters join historic march for second referendum, telling MPs give the decision back to the people. And that is a grip of people right there. Now, the article takes you here. And I'm going to play you a little bit of this, but I'm not going to play you the sound because I don't want to get hit. But they end up unfurling this banner. There it is right there. It's a tweet saying, if democracy cannot change its mind, it ceases to be a democracy. So, gotta admit, this is a grip of people right here. An estimated 1 million people staged one of the biggest marches in British history to demand a second referendum on Brexit and for the public to have the final say on the gathering crisis. The streets of central London were clogged with protesters from across the country urging politicians faced with the country potentially crashing out of the EU in just 3 weeks' time to hand the decision back to the people. Perhaps the most dramatic picture was the unfurling of an enormous banner with the pre-referendum words of David Davis, the Brexit-supporting Tory MP. If democracy cannot change, it ceases to be a democracy. Among the speakers were Tom Watson, Labour Party's deputy leader, who called out to Theresa May, saying, "Have a look outside the window, Prime Minister. Open your curtains, switch on your TV. Here are the people." Some in the crowd cried out, "Where's Jeremy Corbyn?" the Labour leader, who was later revealed to be campaigning for his party ahead of local elections in Lancashire. Michael Heseltine, the Conservative grandee, used his speech to express contempt for Brexiteers wrapped in a Union Jack who invoke Winston Churchill for their cause. Okay, so this is really, really interesting. And I got to point out here that I'm not really sure how much on either side were coming out, but these are the ones who want to remain. As you can see, these are all EU flags right here. These people want to remain. They want to get that second referendum. And of course, the first referendum voted to leave, and that's supposed to happen. But Theresa May's been slow walking this whole thing. And now it appears that they're getting even more and more divided about this. So I'm not really sure how this is going to happen. I mean, obviously, the will of the people is the will of the people. I'm not sure if they're going to end up pulling off this second referendum or not. Q says, democracy matters, the will of the people, united, not divided. Where we go one, we go all. So thoughts and prayers to our brothers and sisters out there in good old England. I still like to call it England. I have no idea how this is going to play out, but I do want to point out that those people were not voting to leave. That is an impressive crowd right there, and it looks like all these people want to stay. Let's go ahead and move on. 3171. 50 minutes after the hour of 6, Democrats haven't been this mad at Republicans since we freed this slave. I've actually seen this meme before. It's hilarious. Spelled wrong, but it's hilarious. Q post it. 3172, 52 minutes after the hour of 6. We see it again with this right here. My turn. I love this. This is great. That's such a great smile. That is such a great smile. That is gonna set Rachel Maddow just off. Meme misspelled, but drives the point across, referring to this right here. Democrats. Kind of sounds right, though, doesn't it? 3173, 6 minutes after the hour 10. And this is from referring to the last bread, which was on the thread on 8chan. All of us have been antsy for the hammer to drop, but we will remember this time, the time before we knew the big scene. This is historic. Q says, the calm before the storm. What happens when a blockade, that being the Mueller investigation threat, is dismantled and removed? Well, then it frees up the POTUS. This is the first time that we're going to be able to experience the POTUS not being under investigation. And essentially, we all know that it wasn't the POTUS himself who was truly under investigation, even though there would be a lot of Democrats that would like to tell you. The case was between Trump team and Russia collusion. That's an important distinction to make. But the fact of the matter is that it's coming to an end. And now we might actually be able to get a lot more done. Q says, you'll find out. Children used as shields, manufactured crimes of perjury, fire at will. Commander, interesting words.
Calm before the storm.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know what happened with the D-R-E.
Post 3175, 20 minutes after the hour of 7, all fixed. There we go. Democrats haven't been this mad at Republicans since we freed their slaves. Nice. Q says, why are they attempting to rewrite our history? Because they know exactly how history leads back to them, right? You can run, but you can't hide. That's the Democratic Party con. Now, I think Q is also implying that a lot of these people who are running against POTUS likely also have something to hide, right? Q has alluded to that fact before, and the reason they're probably doing that is not so much because they want to fix the country, right? It's because they want to hide something, and of course, if POTUS goes after them, then of course they can always claim that that is a political witch hunt too, so they're getting out in front of the narrative. We talked about that quite a bit before. All right, kids, those are your Q posts. As always, if you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. Thanks to all of you who do that already. If you're new to my channel, welcome to you. Please understand that from time to time, you're going to get unclicked and unnotified and unsubscribed, and it's going to get increasingly difficult finding my videos. I find that you have the most luck just typing in IPOT, but I post when Q posts. All right, kids, my alternate links are down below. My Gab, my BitChute, and I'm over here at Twitter at IPOT1776. That's at IPOT1776. And if you're on Twitter, please give me a follow over here. I do a lot of stuff here that I don't have the time to put up on YouTube, but I do a lot of threads and things like that. And this is where I do most of my interaction with a lot of you guys. My email is also down below. My P.O. box is down below if you're old school. And if you'd like to support this channel, my Patreon link is down below. All those links are down below. All right, kids, this is Sir Patrick Mack. I'm going to try and go out and enjoy my Sunday. Hope you enjoy yours. And until next time, stay free.